Welcome to Making Stuff with Chris Dayhut. This channel is not normally about YouTubing and being a YouTuber, etc. But recently, the channel has reached 1 million views, and that caused me to reflect back on my experience over the last 5 years of being a YouTuber. I also see a lot of, we'll call it misleading information out in the whole universe about how easy it is to become a millionaire on YouTube. This video's purpose and intent is to give people a reality check from somebody who's actually done it, or not been a millionaire, don't get me wrong there, who's been in the game for 5 years now, hit 1 million views, and what reality is like, as opposed to what you may want to believe it's like. So at this point, I'm assuming you are either starting a YouTube channel or are wondering where you fit in the massive YouTube community. In this video, I'm going to present my brutally honest opinions and experiences about being a YouTuber. The purpose of this video is not to convince you it is good or bad to be a YouTuber. Here's a bit more background about my channel so you have a perspective and a comparative to maybe your situation. I started my channel on June 29th, 2020 with repurposed woodworking videos that I had produced 20 years earlier. In late 2021, I started creating new content for the channel in the subjects of electronics, microcontrollers, programming, robotics, and that sort of subject matter. In total, at this point, I have over 340 videos on YouTube, and at present, I'm adding about 1.5 videos per week. In the YouTube universe, this is where my channel fits into the YouTube world. There are 114 million total YouTube channels out there, and that number's changing by the second. There is 1,480,000 channels with over 1 million views. Us achieving 1 million views places us in the top 1.3% category of all YouTubers. Does that make me an expert or an authority on being a YouTuber? No, and there aren't a lot of those truly out there. There are a lot of people that will tell you what you want to hear, but being brutally honest isn't a big thing on YouTube. You may be thinking that even with that statistics, that data, and having 1 million views, that I must be making a lot of money. I mean, 1 million views is a lot of views, right? So you would think. Notice the scale of those numbers. 114 million channels. That is a very important fact to be aware of. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you even more massive numbers that are astounding and are even more important. Again, back to my channel, let's take a look at the number of views for my top 10 videos. My most popular video has 160,000 views. That's a good, respectable number, and that would, if all your videos did that, you'd be earning some really good revenue. A couple down from there, we drop into 47,000. That's a pretty big drop in just a few videos there. From my first place to my fourth place, that's 120,000 less views in its lifetime. And we'll go all the way to the bottom, and the bottom video in the top 10 list has got 19,771 views. Not the greatest numbers of views overall, especially when compared to general interest videos. However, I am in a couple of very small niche markets. My subject matters are not appealing to the broad general audience of YouTube. It's appealing to very small groups of people. So I won't get the millions of views like a lot of other YouTubers. I shouldn't say a lot. Many other YouTubers in the very high end of the YouTube universe. Now let's dig a little deeper and about the reality of getting 1 million views and those numbers for videos. First, let's take a look at the financials. The primary reason why most people want to be a YouTuber. And I'm going to present you with reality here. These are the numbers from my YouTube channel that's been out for 5 years now. These are not falsified numbers, not artificially inflated numbers, but factual, brutally honest earnings. The channel was monetized 1 year after starting. So realistically, the revenue stream started about 4 years ago. But you have to go through the process before to get enough views and subscribers before YouTube will monetize you, because that's when they feel you're worthy of it. Now again, these numbers are for the entire duration of the YouTube channel, not per video or not per month or per year. In total, I have earned $5,208.66 in advertising revenue. I also earned another $96.40 from Super Thanks, where people kind of donate a little money to you. Sometimes it's a lot of money. Total revenue for my channel since the beginning is $5,305.05. Now, if you're quick with math, you'll notice the numbers don't add up. That's because YouTube will always report an estimated revenue. It's rare you see real data all the time. The only way you know what you're going to earn is when they send you the payment, okay? So at this point, you're probably thinking, really? Only that much money? Yeah, that's the reality. This just isn't a game of big numbers unless you're in the big numbers. A moment ago, I showed you the number of views from my top 10 videos, and that was intentional to give you an idea what the high end of my channel is like. Now let's look at the reality of it overall. This is a breakdown of revenue from all 340 plus videos. And this is over its entire duration, so not just how much revenue per video or anything like that. Literally, first example, 34% of videos that I produce and posted on YouTube earned less than $1 each in their entire lifetime. That's a lot of product that I put out there that earned me less than $1 over its entire lifetime. 36% earned between $1.01 and $5. That's another huge amount of videos at a very low revenue stream per each video. And again, this is for the entire duration of the channel. 19% of the videos earned somewhere between $5.01 and $25. At the high end of that, $25, okay, we're starting to talk some reasonable revenue. But only 10% of the videos earned above $25.01 during the entire duration of their existence on my YouTube channel. You're starting to get the idea that this may not be what you think you're going to earn, and it might not be so bad at the same time, because, well, you know, you think I could create some simple videos and put up a lot of them because they're fast and easy to make, and they don't really require a lot of effort. I agree, certain types of videos are fast and easy to make. The type that I do produce are how-to videos, so there's a substantial amount of prep work that has to go into it, getting facts and figures correct, a lot of little tasks that may need to go into it that doesn't apply to other types of videos. So let's take a look at this. These are very rough estimates because I've never tracked time, but I have done it enough times where I know how long things take, okay? Somewhere between 1 and 3 hours for every video is spent on planning and research. That is just thinking of the idea, thinking of the story you want to convey, putting together a few rough notes, thinking about it for a few days, etc. Then once you got a good idea what you want to talk about, then you got to create a script. I work from a script more frequently today than I have in years past in an effort to try to keep videos more concise. For filming the story, I spend about 1 to 5 hours. Kind of depends on the complexity of the story and how many cameras or recording devices I have to use. Sometimes I have 1 camera, sometimes 3 cameras, and 2 other recording devices. So that can greatly affect the duration or time spent filming. 1 to 3 hours are spent filming what we call B-roll, the auxiliary videos that are often added to increase interest in the content that's being presented. And as well as graphics that are needed for the video, such as what's going on up here in the upper left corner of the screen that you see. With that, we can move into editing at about 2 to 5 hours per video. I have had some complex videos take me several days to edit. After you get it all edited, you have to proof it, meaning you watch it from beginning to end, paying attention to all the details that you can, and hopefully everything is good and you don't have to go back into editing. Finally, you got to post your video online, and that is a rather involved process. Now, you can start out just putting your video up there and a simple description and make up a quick, simple thumbnail, but you'll quickly realize you need to do a lot more than that. I spend probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half posting most new videos, and that involves the process of uploading it, creating the description, the title for it, all the thumbnails, entering all the SEO optimizational information. All of that stuff takes time, and that is the worst time to rush and not do it correctly or to the best of your absolute ability. Then at this point, it takes, all total, 7.5 to 19.5 hours per video to produce. That's for me. Simple videos will certainly be less time consuming. What isn't in that time is doing all the peripheral work, such as buying and maintaining equipment. Your camera equipment and all the other stuff that you use, you got to take care of it and treat it well, or it's going to fail at you at the worst possible times. You need to learn new skills to keep improving, new video editing techniques, new audio editing techniques, working with new filters, new transitions, all these different things that you want to use in your production take time to learn, and you have to spend time doing it. And then the really biggie, marketing, 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 marketing. You have to spend time promoting yourself. It is extremely rare to have videos get substantial numbers of views without being marketed in one way, shape, or form. Here are some really more massive numbers for you to rationalize why marketing is very critical to the success of your YouTube channel. There are over 20 billion with a B, videos on YouTube. Every minute, more than 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube. People watch 5 billion videos daily from YouTube. That's all people in the world, and there are 100 million subscribers on YouTube. Those are some really massive numbers. So stop and think for a moment why anyone would want to watch your video when there are 20 billion others to choose from. That's where marketing allows you to help steer your video to the people that could be interested in it. And just the time you spent watching this video, thousands of hours have been uploaded to YouTube. It's a never-ending challenge that more and more content is going up, and all that content that's being added and that is there is your competitor trying to get the viewer audience's time away from you. They are working hard to market. Now, you might be saying that being a YouTuber isn't all that it's cracked up to be, or how easy it is, or it's great. Continue on. This isn't the whole story yet. Here are some very brutal, honest truths about being a YouTuber, and you have to accept these as being true. It is not easy. It requires a lot of work, a lot of planning, effort, etc. goes into each and every YouTube. It has to be done. You don't shortcut that task. It requires a lot of skills. How are your skills in photography, videography, video editing, sound editing, writing, speaking, storytelling, marketing, graphic design, web development? All of these things and much more goes into each video to get it to somebody to watch it. It requires commitment. You really should be publishing on a very regular schedule. As I mentioned earlier, I do about 1.5 videos a week. Your audience gets to into a routine to expect your video content to be presented at a certain day, certain time. And that's how you can help retain your views or viewers. That requires commitment. You just don't get to do it once in a blue moon when you feel like it. Well, you can, but don't expect great monetization out of it. It requires a lot of time. Some content is quick and easy, as we just talked about, but others demand time, and you've got to commit to that time. It really does not pay well in most cases. You think of where we're at, or where I'm at, with 1 million views in the top 1.3%, and if I take all the time I spent, which is crudely estimated, I'm paid $1.80 per hour of that time to create all those videos. So pretty low wages if you think about it. And I'll bet you if I tracked all of that, it'd be much less than that $1.80 per hour. You are opening yourself up to a lot of criticism, and it is brutal at times. People online, just as they are on Facebook and other social media forums and so forth, they aren't afraid to tell you what they think, and sometimes it is great. I have been very fortunate. My audience has been extremely supportive. They offer criticism. I take it all very seriously. We often try to open up a dialogue back and forth in the comment sections, and it's treated with great respect. The audience has respect of me. I have respect of them and their importance. And none of them are malicious, so that is, again, wonderful. But that isn't the case for all YouTubers. A lot of them battle this substantially, and it weighs on them heavily. You better be good and like marketing. You got to be good at it, and you got to like it, and you're going to do a lot of it. Be aware of that. Very few YouTubers can gain financial success without marketing themselves. And even the really top dogs out there, they are very good at marketing their brand, their product, their videos. And if they're really big, they've got groups of people helping them do that. You are not in control of every aspect of what affects your success. You might think, well, if I do everything right, I'm assured I'm going to be a successful YouTuber. Oh no, that is not the case at all. There are influences outside of your control, such as the infamous algorithm. And that is the routine or software program, whatever you want to call it, that directs videos to potential viewers. And that gets changed frequently. And a lot of YouTubers have had very severe negative impacts when YouTube improves the algorithm, but it really destroys your channel. I'll show you some proof of that in a minute. The whole process is without a doubt exhausting and frustrating at times, especially if you're trying to maintain say a one video a week schedule and you work full time and you're trying to get started and you don't have enough time. Well, be careful how much midnight oil you burn, because it can certainly affect your health greatly. So just a little extra advice there. The ups and downs are brutal in the whole process of being a YouTuber. Here's a graphic I'm going to show you in a second. There is no guarantee people are going to watch your video or that the algorithm helps. Now, this is a graph of the number of views since the beginning for my channel, all the way back at the beginning and going up through the whole time frame. Initial growth was slow and then really started picking up in early 2023. By the end of 2023, things looked so promising that I had made it big time. Revenue was actually pretty strong. During January of 2024, things started the downhill spiral, and towards the end of 2024, it dipped again. In 2025, it has been stabilizing but not growing. This is the reality of views, revenue, and the frustration of not knowing why it happened and what caused the problem or how to fix it. But back at that graph, I do know that at the start of my major downfall, at the end of January 2023, there was a big change to the algorithm on YouTube. And nothing else I was doing changed. But look at the dramatic downfall during that time frame. Now, I did gain a little bit, probably at the result of a change in the algorithm, and then it dropped again a little bit more. You have no control over what's happening there. So be aware of that, and that might help you deal with the turmoil, so to speak, throughout the entire process. Hopefully at this point you're thinking, why on earth would anybody want to do that if there is no financial reward? And that is a very good and fair and honest question, because that is the primary motivator for most people to do this. And from my perspective, there's other influences or reasons why I do the YouTube channels, especially the how-to videos that I produce. It obviously has nothing to do with money, so let's get that off the board right now. Working for $1.80 an hour isn't worth my time. So here's why I do it and how I get my rewards from it. I enjoy photography and videography. They're great art forms, they're a lot of fun, they're very difficult, and you will constantly learn skills in those areas over time. It's just great to do. I've been at it 50 years, and I still think I'm a horrible photographer and videographer, but I enjoy it, and I like to keep trying to make it better. I like video editing. I've been doing that for 25 years now, and that is another great art form, so to speak, because you can really influence how a story is told and tell the story differently depending on your techniques in how you're editing and that sort of thing. I love helping people. 40 years of doing industrial adult education has taught me that helping people is a wonderful experience in life. Plain and simple, it just is very rewarding. I've got to meet awesome people from all over the world in the comments. Germans, Polish, French, Swiss, people from everywhere. It's just, people will make a comment, you strike up a short little conversation, as brief as it may be, a few comments back and forth in the comment section, and suddenly you connect with people you would have never met at all in your life. And that is an awesome, awesome feeling and experience. I like learning. Every video I create encapsulates many opportunities to learn that keeps the old man out. And as you get older, that's something you want to pay attention to. I like pushing myself to do better. I'm a driven person who never really could just sit around and do nothing. So with all of that said, rewards are not always measured in dollars. And if that is your motivation, keep in mind of everything I've covered in this video so far. If you're a little broader minded, keep that in mind, where if there are other rewards you can reap from being a YouTuber. For me, the greater reward is that it allows me to do many things that I really enjoy, even if they seem like work at times. The alternative is not being able to do the things I enjoy. The revenue generated does help cover some of the costs, so I treat that as an additional benefit. If you liked this brutally honest information about being a YouTuber and you would like to see more, please let me know in the comments below. Suggest other topics or ask questions about my experiences so far. Again, we can get a dialogue going, share information, and hopefully I can help get you on the right path, or a little bit more realistic path with your YouTube ambitions. With that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Thanks so much for spending your time with me today, and hopefully I'll see you again in another video.
Well,